Hello, today I want to present you another Alliance Conquest match, the 5th of this season. We already had enough wins for an additional prize, but stubbornly refused to drop out of the top 100. 8 fragments of the SS-class castle skin spoke to us like election promises. To stay in the top 100 we needed one victory, and since the opponent in this match was similar to us in power, we tried to limit the risk associated with the last match and win. Did we manage to do it? Check it out yourself by watching this material. We started evenly. Of course, we're talking about the number of buildings, not their value. Despite generating the same amount of points on both sides, the mother is definitely more important because you can always flood the opponent with the amount of army that we can heal cheaper. Instead, we have the warrior, who increases attack and damage. We will definitely take good care of him. The capture of the distant port was left to me because my Tier 5 troops are better deployed on the vanguard, which will be like a splinter in the opponent's finger. Of course, the strength of my spears also plays a big role here, which is, in my humble opinion, insufficient. I have to do something about this. This is the spearhead I was talking about. I slightly damaged the opponent's morale by exposing myself to them, especially since their first strike ended this way. The difference in numbers was definitely to my disadvantage, but I won. A small difference, but I won. The opponent is a class of its own. The synergy of women under bows in this version is simply insane. We have mostly matched exclusive weapons, buffing archers' damage, disarming, chances to use skills multiple times and sending the army away. Using Margery and Annie in women synergy is simply a great move in cases of raids, but it has one problem that bothers me too. Disarming does not work on weakness synergy. Attacks to the weak point do not miss. The only time this can happen is before Drake starts healing. But I have Arslan who partially eliminates this, and also a dragon skill that gives a chance to heal. I am definitely a bad opponent for him. Casterly Rock is the most important building because it provides a constant, large amount of points generated every minute. It is also required for 2 building bonds. It adds 5 base health to each bond. But I won't go into the details of stats today. Follow my channel. A video will be coming in the future. The enemy sent their heaviest guns against Casterly Rock. Unfortunately, a misunderstanding among my allies resulted in sending the wrong kind of units to support, and our defender became a hedgehog after being hit by so many arrows. This time the enemy hit their mark. The army sent quickly was no match for the fully prepared female synergy, although the synergy was very good. I was also surprised by an infantry attack. It wasn't a top-notch attack, but it shows how important it is to choose units for counterattacks. Despite my advantage and the lack of any synergy in the opponent, I was stabbed quite painfully. Remember, infantry is good against spears, spears are good against cavalry, cavalry is good against infantry, and bows are good for defending the castle. The mines, the enemy's last hope for changing the outcome. To threaten us, they would have to take both and hold them until the end. And here we are talking about the threat of defeat, not the certainty of it. Fortunately for us, we shared the mines. At this point, the enemy had definitely suffered defeat. However, our resources were running low. I can't say for sure, but they could always overwhelm us with the amount of healing we had saved at the end, and we would have an unpleasant surprise. Fortunately, this attack on the mine resolved all the issues related to this. Victory was ours, definitively. The game, like life, is full of surprises. Remember how I said during the playoffs of the previous season that as soon as we entered the Super League, after the first 6 matches we would return to the A-League? Well, I was terribly wrong. We are finishing our first season in the top league in the top 100. After this match, it was already a foregone conclusion. I will say more, I was laughing that if the matches in the top 30 went well, and we won the last match, we would greet the playoffs right away. Of course, I was laughing. Such situations do not happen. We are still too small to get the right number of points from 5 matches, but the Super League is not as scary as I thought. We will find our place in the top 100. In 12 more seasons, we will receive the castle skin. Is it a long time? This is the 19th season, so in the 31st we would have it. On the one hand, very far away. On the other, it is just a blink, a split second. Time flies very quickly, especially if we don't want it to. But as time passes, we grow stronger. After all, I have Tier 5 troops. With each successive season, we are wiser, stronger. This does not mean that we should freeze in stagnation. We move forward, step by step. But something has to propel these legs. Every stumble is proof that we are moving forward. After all, someone who stands still can't stumble, right? Thank you for today and see you soon.